Check. I hope you can hear me, guys. Aloha, lads and gents. Welcome back to the first episode of Crunch Time of this year, business year 2024. Even if we today will talk about Alfen Q4 2023 earnings, the last earnings of the past business year. I'm so grateful to have you in again. And actually, guys, I need to tell it to you. I'm not sure why, but I'm quite shaky a little bit. I don't know, man. But I mean, the pressure is rising from earnings season to earnings season. More people are subscribed or have subscribed in the past. I'm very happy about this fact. And yeah, so therefore I try, of course, to provide quality content, and that's the reason why I'm here again, guys. So please don't take it negative if I'm shaking a little bit. But before we jump right into the earnings call and into the prepared information and content which I provide you in the upcoming minutes till 8 p.m. Central European time. Again, quick disclaimer just in advance. Guys, it's your money, so make sure that you do your own research, your own due diligence. What you will see in the upcoming minutes is for sure no financial advice, consultation or whatsoever. And I can't give you, of course, no guarantee for any correctness of the provided data. I always try my best, but of course my opinion as well is not which is counting so much. It's always about your opinion. Maybe I can give you a tendency of new color to your thoughts about the stock, for instance, about Alfen. But yes, at the end, it's your pocket, it's your wallet, it's your bank, your cash, your liquidity, and it's up to you what you're doing with it. However, so again, first earnings call of the season. Just before jumping right into the prepared material, I want to let you know that there will be multiple other earnings calls or earnings which I want to guide via live stream. So we will start with Alfen. I think I need to check it out, but then I should be prepared a little bit better. But I think next week, upcoming Thursday, we will have first at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We will start with Grab, very likely, maybe Indie, but very likely we set the focus on Grab Holdings, the food delivery, mobility, financial and advertisement service provider from Southeast Asia, to which I provided deeper analysis in the past 2-3 weeks. And then on at, I think, 11 p.m. Eastern time, we will talk about new holdings, new bank, the Bank Institute, more focused on B2C business in Brazil, Colombia, and Mexico. Very interesting business. Stock is already somehow raising through the roof. It's crazy what is going on over there. And then I think on 26, if I'm not mistaken, 26th of February, the big earnings is going on, at least for me, very big and important earnings. And this is addressed to Hims & Hers, the digital doctor shop and pharmacy and healthcare product provider out of the US, which is quite popular, I think, in this local region and for some of the viewers of my channel. And last but not least, we will finish this with Stone here from Brazil, the point of sales enterprise research program vendor. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, something 13 March or whatever. So however, if you really want to figure out on which exact date it will happen and take place, you can check out my Insights time period of past Sunday. There I definitely shared my screen and showed the dates, and very likely on the upcoming earnings date call, upcoming Thursday, Grab 10 p.m. ET times. For sure, I will announce it a little bit more accurate. Sorry, guys. However, so I'm checking quickly if someone has already joined and is watching. That's always motivating, but however, most important is that Alfen is performing actually. I mean, I'm very happy. I don't want to be negative about this, but for me it's very important that Alfen is performing well. And if you guys have some questions, I take this for sure as a bonus. Yeah, and I highly appreciate this. But guys, I'm still not 100% sure how to interact with the chat. I think it's activated. I can see it. Two viewers are actually at the moment joining or joined the call and watching. So guys, guten Tag. Greetings from Germany. Here it's 7:42 p.m. in the evening. The weather conditions are roughly 4 how you call this? 4 degrees Celsius. Is this 4 degrees Celsius? 4 degrees Celsius. So it's quite fine, and at least my car, which is electric, is charged up. Not by an Alfen EV charger, however, it's charged up. Sorry, Alfen. And the heater is the radiator is working here, the heat engine, and yeah, definitely warmer than 4 grad. Give me a quick moment for a sip of my bottle. Okay. So, what we talk about today is, of course, Alfen. Guys, let me share my screen, because I'm not sure how familiar you are with the solutions, and therefore I will keep it actually a little bit more compact than the last time. 3 months ago, the first earnings which I guided live via stream. Of course, if you are more interested, you can reach out to me and, for instance, leave a comment below the stream or send me a direct message, and I will definitely respond to it. No question, reply will come in for sure. And if not, further information, so you can check out the former stream. Nothing has to change too much about the product pipeline or product setup, product portfolio of Alfen. Actually, nothing has changed. I can tell you already now that last time we talked about a few innovations. This time, in the past quarter, no innovations took place. But however, start with the fundament. I don't want to confuse you somehow. So starting with the actual solutions of Alfen. So first of all, Alfen is headquartered in the Netherlands, in the Dutch market, is present and 100% focused on the European market, primarily on the Western market, with some subsidiaries locally in the different countries, but as well expanding to the other markets, selling their goods there, indirectly, primarily in the Eastern European part. They have been founded in 1937, so actually it's a quite old company, but somehow it developed into a very modern, up-to-date company, and was highly requested and demanded on the stock market in the past 2 years, let's say it like this, especially from 2021 to 2022. They really experienced a huge demand in terms of their stocks, and the prices increased heavily in very short periods of time. Why? You can see it, they are provider and supplier of electrical equipment infrastructure. So let's start with the legacy business, which is actually the smart grid business. And here we're talking about transformer stations or substations, however you want to call them. So there are different varieties. Some are smaller, some are larger. Very likely you have seen them somewhere in your area, on the countryside, in the city. I mean, they can be installed next to EV charging stations. They can be installed next to wind farms. They can be installed to here some houses where you grow some vegetables. I'm not sure. Greenhouses, I think, is the right wording. Yeah, greenhouses. Let's call it greenhouse for today. And of course, in private areas, you can install them as well. So this is the legacy business, and I can show you already now. So actually, I didn't prepare. I want to keep it a little bit on fly, what we will discuss today in the warm-up session, and not prepare too heavily in details. But I want to show you quickly how this business actually developed in the past quarter, because as you can see here, it actually developed surprisingly very, very well. wait, that's not the one I'm looking for. That's the one. As you can see here, the blue bars, I think it will be again today blue bars, so there's not any confusion going on. Blue bars, very likely again the legacy business substations. And you can see here it actually grew by 41% quarter over quarter, or let's say year over year, yeah, 2022 to 2023, which actually was quite surprising and remarkable, because regularly the management is stating and the market is calculating with average growth of 15 till 20% year on year. Yeah, so here definitely some stuff is going on. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think they, for instance, fixated in an exclusive agreement with, I think, the third largest Dutch electrical grid provider. So this, of course, is definitely an accelerator in terms of sales. And of course, this kind of deals a lot of times is tender driven, yeah, and then you have a certain budget, products, number of products which will get utilized or purchased by the new client. And so this is not like private to customer business, which is just decided from here till there and the signature and it's gone. It's we're talking about a larger investment case, at least six-digit number of euros. Yeah, in general, because it's a company which is located in the Dutch market. Today, all numbers will get stated in euros. So this is, of course, 36 million euros, and this is 50 million euros. Now, after a few times providing insights, time periods, and episodes, I'm used to somehow calculate it and word it in US dollars, and now by myself I need to make a shift in my brain to not somehow mix everything together and create an awkward blend of currencies. However, so this is actually the substation business, the legacy business. Then we go on with the second business, which is quite new. I think it was heavily established in, let me check this out, I have still notes from 1 year ago. I think it was actually I can't find it, but it's not that old. I think it's something like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. In this period, in this time frame, this business, the EV charging station business, was established. And of course, you can do the math on your own. The demand was huge in the past years, especially in, as I mentioned, 2021, 2022. So the company itself, the IPO took place in 2018. And as I mentioned again, 2008 it was found, the EV charging stations have been announced and publicated and have been released for purchase. And I mean, they had a big advantage, which was basically they have been one of the first movers in Europe, and especially Europe is quite an eco-friendly, sustainable region. A lot of subsidiaries, funding programs are present over here, not only directed into EVs or EV charger stations, as well in wind farms, PV farms, solar industry, whatever you can think about. There's so much subsidy business going on, and again, Europe was first mover, and in this market, Alfen was very early adopting to the business, and of course, a lot of clients are out there who decided for Alfen, especially initially in the first periods, in the first years and months, and a lot of companies are actually customer of them. I think even the company I was a former employee for, I personally, I think they as well had multiple Alfen chargers, but don't nail me on this. Yeah, but actually at least I used one week ago when I was shopping at the grocery store, and it luckily worked. So I'm not sure if that's positive or negative. I mean, it's for sure not negative. I can't guarantee it's always working, but yeah, it feels very well and comfortable. And I thought, okay, nice to finally see an Alfen charger in reality. And this business actually, let's go back to the webcast slides, is actually not developing so well. As you can see here, it's dropping, and it's not only dropping year over year, it's as well dropping heavily quarter over quarter. Yeah, so before this quarter is what it was, if I remember correctly, way more than 71 million euros turnover per quarter. So Q2 2022, Q2 2023, and it's definitely heading into a very negative direction. Why? Because actually, yeah, the market is full. Let's keep it very simple. We don't need to go into some awkward details, but a lot of stuff was ordered. The backlogs have been very full, and basically because as well of the macroeconomical development in the past year, you know as well. I mean, the stock market went very well. The prices raised and inclined in a nice direction on nice levels, at least for a few companies or for a lot of companies. But in general, especially at the beginning of 2023, from the macroeconomical real perspective, companies haven't been that sure that it will be the economy however will be stable. Yeah, so that was not guaranteed, and of course. So first of all, a lot of the potential customers, ordered already a huge amount of EV chargers. And on the other side, a lot of them pushed the stop button, the braking pedal, let's say it like this, and lowered a little bit the budget for this kind of expenditure. And so Alfen by themselves stated that 2023 is titled as a gap year. Yeah, this simple like this. That was the case, and they stated that they expect in 2024, latest second half of the business year, the comeback will take place, and very likely demand of EV charging equipment will be present. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to this point, and hopefully today already some good progress will take place, and at least the negative development is stopped, and maybe we will achieve again something like 35 million euros. That would not be too bad. And now we come to the newest business of Alfen, which is actually the energy storage business, or the BESS, so battery energy storage system. You can see it already here in the background. There can be some stationary modules, it's always modular. There can be some stationary modules which get installed, for instance, next to a solar park, solar farm, or a wind farm. But as well, as you can see on the left, which is called the battery mobile, so a mobile version which can get installed, for instance, to some festivals or some construction sites, as you can see here. So whatever, you can see it here, maritime operations, so in the coast area, sea area, so are different occasions where you can utilize this kind of solutions. And this is actually a very, very new business, and that is for sure the rising star among these three primary business lines. Of course, they provide as well part of service and maintenance, and this is of course as well a great source of income, but sometimes they source it out as well to some external partners, service partners. That's quite common in this business actually. And so this is for sure the rising star. And guys, I don't need to add too many words in this, and just show you here as well the slide deck of the past earnings. Q3 2023, and as you can see here, I hope you can see it. Let me check this out. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, 201% year over year. Yeah, I mean, okay, of course, guys, hands down. I mean, in 1 year ago in this quarter they achieved only 17 million, yeah, turnover. But however, at least they achieved it, and you can't deny that 200% year over year is crazy. I mean, Alfen is a company which has a market cap of, I think, let me check this out quickly for you. It has a market cap of 1.25 billion US dollars. Yeah, so okay, it's not a lot, but it is at least something. And just for your information, so when we talk about the revenue, the diversification and the shares are basically EV charging is 26%. Then we have substations, which is currently 36%. And then we have the battery energy storage system, which is already in the lead with 38%, even if it's a quite niche business. Yeah, I mean, look, I have a little bit knowledge about the wind farm business, for instance, and I can tell you, I mean, wind farms, at least in Germany and in Spain, in France, in Spain, in the Dutch market, they are getting rolled heavily, and of course, more and more they get connected to substations, and for instance, substations of Alfen. Then sometimes 1 or 2 EV stations get connected to it, but way more important is the battery energy storage systems, which getting heavily attached to this kind of wind farms and solar farms. There are different advantages which are resulting out of it. I mean, first and foremost, of course, the saving of energy, but as well the stabilization of the electrical grid. Yeah, this kind of stuff is going on. So it's just a simple, reasonable addition to a wind farm, for instance. And so therefore, yeah, of course, it's highly demanded by the market. Yeah. So again, 26% is EV chargers. 36% is substations, and 38% of the revenue is battery energy storage systems. And talking about the margin, I can tell you that EV chargers are basically high margin, substations are mid margin, and therefore the past in which Alfen sold a lot of chargers went very well in terms of profit, because the margin is quite high. And actually, unfortunately, the margin of the energy storage systems is quite low. Yeah. So I mean, somehow on a revenue side, for sure, the energy storage systems can compensate the decreasement of EV chargers, but on the other side, not on the profit side. So this is something what we need to keep in mind, and therefore it's obvious that the overall company-wide margin level and efficiency and profitability is going down, because less and less EV chargers getting are sold in the past months and quarters, and on the other hand, more and more energy storage systems getting sold, yeah, and will be sold in the future. Will get sold in the future as well. Oh man, my grammatic. See, guys, in this moments you recognize how much I need to cut and somehow adjust the video text I'm recording, because I think the finalized versions sound a little bit better. However, I love to have this kind of streams. I already feel it. I need to go to the stage. I like this very much, actually, even if as I mentioned, I was a little bit too excited already about the stream, and now the mute is getting a little bit more solid. However, yeah. Oh, it's already 8 p.m. guys, and I have so much to tell you today. However, let's check quickly if the results are already publicated. Luckily not. Okay, guys. I would say to be a little bit efficient, yeah. I quickly check out what is going on with the with the today metrics. So I prepared the parameters basically which we need to focus on, and they are just very slightly adjusted to the last quarter. So first and foremost, we want to make sure that the revenue and the EPS development is on a nice level. When we talk about revenue, I expect something like quarter for quarter, like, and that's orientated more or less on the forecast for the quarter of 142 million US dollars, 142. And year on year for the full business year 2023, something is stated from Alfen of 490 till 520 million euros. I personally expect the exact mid actually. It was just by accident actually. I just calculated by myself for each of the 3 product categories the expected revenue, and somehow the total was 505. So exact the mid of the guidance by Alfen. We will see if that will be the case. And the EPS development. For me, it's not about the absolute amount of earnings per share or profit, adjusted EBITDA. It's more about the margin, and I would be very happy about the margin of 13%. Yeah? So again, sum it up, 505 million euros for 2023 revenue, and something like 13% adjusted EBITDA margin. That's my target for today, and then I'm a very happy stock owner. Actually, I own something like today 10,000 euros or 11,000 US dollars. I checked it right before starting the stream. Last quarter I was something like 30% minus in the red, and I think I own something like 7,000 US dollars. So now 4,000 US dollars more, or roughly 50%. Quite happy. I stick to the stock. Yeah, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. Guys, if you want, of course, you can already open the results in your back, and you can laugh and smile, or you can start crying. I expected last earnings results. Actually, it will be not that positive, and I really assumed that a comeback will take place mid this year. So everything which is now positive, I take it on a very positive side basically, and I'm just positively surprised. And yeah, if it's negative, it's actually somehow expected, because yeah, it's just surprising for me that last year was so well, last quarter was so well, but it was mainly driven by the substation development and revenue development, and yeah, therefore it's somehow obvious. And this somehow out of nowhere covers the degrees of the revenue on the EV charger side. So what else we want to focus on today? On the short term, it's for sure the continuous guidance coverage, and we don't like to see any corrections. Why I'm telling this to you, guys, we can check the history of Alfen and the earnings, and just to get a better feeling for you why I'm stating this. So I think it's quite small, but I think you can see it. But you see a lot of red numbers, yeah. And in my perspective, somehow maybe the management of Alfen really lost trust into the investors. I can't state differently. I mean, look, I mean, sometimes they missed just very closely, yeah. But if you take a look here on August 25, 2022, they missed it with roughly 30%, yeah. So very crazy, and therefore, I mean, the development is heading into the right direction, but I really want to see that it's more and more greenish now, especially on the revenue side, and that investors start to rely on it again, and they understand, okay, it was not just a one-trick pony or a one-hit wonder. It can repeat their success and achieve constant performance, and therefore, yeah, hopefully they will cover this, let's say it here, 142 million euros. So let's go back to the other targets. And the next one is the success in the strategic rollout, especially in terms of sales. I mean, substations, again, they stated 15 till 20% year-over-year revenue growth. I'm very happy with this, nothing to complain about. I mean, it's a legacy business, it's high margin business, of course, and that's the reason why the profit was quite well last quarter, and as well the revenues, because of this 41% year-over-year growth. However, this is something what I don't take too much focus of. But that's different when we talk about the EV charging stations, and that's the reason why I underlined these words, because here I really want to see some positive development. So I mean, Alfen had a crazy year in the past, 2021, 2022. I will show you later the numbers before we open the actual earnings results, but I can tell you, I mean, it will very likely not reach old price levels as long as the EV charging business is not going back to normal, yeah. And when we talk about, can you see my screen? Yes. When we talk about old price levels, you can see it here, what was going on in the past. So basically, as you can see, again, it's not that old. Was IPO, it took place beginning of March 2018, and you can see here they reached something on the top like 112 US dollars, and then somehow they dropped to roughly the half of it, yeah. So basically divided by 2, you can't tell different, and drop really. The trust level was gone, and here actually they announced the Q3 results last year, so last earnings call, and again, as mentioned, they surprised with quite solid results above guidance, and then again the price accelerated, yeah. So to reach this kind of tops, I think it's not that unrealistic, yeah. It's not like some other digital Internet of Things, cloud, cybersecurity, whatsoever companies which had reached price levels in 2022 which you can only dream about nowadays, of double or triple the size of today's prices, even if the companies themselves doing fine. That was not the case for Alfen on this level, yeah. However, as well, they celebrated on a very heavy way, and somehow they had a kind of hangover afterwards, and so now somehow trying to recharge their batteries and coming back. Okay, so this is something what we need to keep in mind. So basically the development, and of course as well the development of the battery energy storage systems. I expect here, I mean, last quarter, year on year, they achieved 200%. I would be very happy actually with just rough estimation of 175%, yeah. So this would mean something like just 60, I think roughly 60 million US dollars in turnover for BSS, which would be quite amazing, and everything on top would be incredible. And then, of course, as I mentioned already, a solid EBITDA level, 13% is my target. And to go on with the midterm goals, not too much to add here. I mean, they actually expanding currently in terms of the factory, the manufacturing business, rolling out new locations in the Netherlands, and it's the production, the construction process should be finalized this quarter. The ramp up will take place Q2, so upcoming quarter, and it will be highly focused as well, not only on the legacy business, but as well on this energy storage business. I hope the demand will be on the right level. So I mean, it's always very negative if you invest a lot of money, hire new staff members, and then somehow the demand is stopping and you can't sell your products, and you have a lot of fixed outcome, a lot of expenditure which you need to cover somehow for staff member costs or whatsoever. And this is definitely what we need to what we and Alfen and the management and the whole company and everyone who's involved as a stakeholder try to avoid. And the next aspect is on the midterm is the revenue target. So they stated as a guidance turnover, yearly turnover between 2025 2027. They want to reach this target of 1 billion euros or 1.708 billion US dollars. Currently, they achieving a turnover, again, as I mentioned, guidance is something like 490 till 520 million euros, which is not that unrealistic. So I honestly expect not that it will take place in 2025. That would be too crazy, I can imagine. But if they count with this, I can imagine they have the power actually. So I guess at least when the new factory is active, they have the capacities to reach the yearly turnover of 1 billion euros, which is great circumstances and conditions. Oh wait, one more sip. But I expect honestly more that it's more realistic 2026, 2027. I think then we talk about year-on-year growth, which is required to reach this target of, I think, 20 or 25%, something like this. And this is more or less realistic as soon as the EV chargers getting back to normal and and energy storage systems getting it as well a little bit back to normal. The growth is not that high anymore, which is of course the case, which will happen for sure sooner or later. And substations stay on a solid, again, 15 till 20% year-on-year growth. And let's go on to the long-term perspective, which is as well not like the midterm perspective, not that interesting for today. But regional expansion is definitely something what we should keep an eye on. Let me show you here. Wait, I open in the background for you guys. Something that you have a better idea where they are present. This is, I think, a slide which I didn't provide it in the last year. It's a little bit blocked through my screen. I can see it already. So I make it a little bit smaller. Hope it's working. Yeah. So what I mean, it's just important for you to see when we take a look at the map that they are very, very present in Europe. The gray colored countries on the map are basically countries or regions where they have a local sales presence, and the other ones are which they are selling their goods externally, basically by distance. And you can see this is primarily the case in Eastern Europe. What you can't see, I need to zoom out that heavily, is you will not recognize anything anymore. But trust me, this one here, I hope you can see my cursor, is the Balkan region, Croatia, for instance, and Bosnia, Herzegovina, this kind of stuff. So this is somehow not covered at all. Not sure what is going over there. Maybe we need to make a call to Alfen and tell them that there's some potential going on, but I guess there will be some big reasons. And just for your informations, the substations business, the legacy business, that's for sure too small, is actually limited to just 4 countries, just because it's very individual. You can't roll it out like EV chargers to one country to another and just adjust some whatever software aspects and produce it on a mass level or like battery energy storage systems. That's not the case. You for sure need to do this in a more sophisticated way, and therefore, and I guess as well, the sales process is very sophisticated and takes time, and therefore I think you need strong partners and a strong product which is really suiting the market, and therefore they are limiting the sales region of substations to just 4 countries. Guys, I know very likely, let me check out quickly that the results are already live. Yeah, they are already live. So, yeah, guys. I mean, that's the downside when you share the earnings with me. You will always be late to the actual results. However, when you later check out the video, I think it's more valuable if I can add more information, you know. And every day I check some stuff of the stocks I'm holding, so I can add now a little bit more information before actually opening the earnings webcast slide deck and focusing the results. So basically, as you can see here as well, the international revenue growth is growing very, very heavily on a huge CAGR of from 2017 to 2022, 20 times basically, as you can see here. So especially the jump from 2021 to 2022 is quite impressive, but without any fundament, I'm quite sure. You can see it here already. So it's related and affected primarily by the EV charging business. So nothing too wild and unexpected. Okay, guys, and let's go back to the last long-term metric, and this is basically the development of the governmental and European Union driven subsidies. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of programs existing and budgets you can go for if you are a company, for instance, or even a private person, and the business is highly affected to this kind of aspects as well. It's a quite cyclical business, especially when we talk about the private sector more than the professional business sector. As you can see on other stocks, let's share here as well some information. I mean, you can see here first solar, as soon as the interest rate was increasing, the sales went down, the prices went down. The same for Enphase, microinverter providers. So this is solar panels, as far as I know. These are microinverters as well, which get attached to solar panels and dropped quite heavily, as you can see here. And Solar Edge as well, a player in the solar industry, dropped as well very, very heavily as soon as the interest rates increased. So of course, I guess the multiplicator, the acceleration resulting out of a decrease of interest rates will hit more positive and more heavy these more private sector driven businesses like Solar Edge, Enphase or First Solar, but as well Alfen will very likely hit very strong out of will benefit very strongly out of it, especially in the private sector. And I guess EV chargers here and there. I mean, I think the big stake they're not selling to private customers, but at least the private customers will be more attracted again to this kind of solutions as soon as the interest rates drops. Okay, guys. I think there is not too much to add anymore. I mean, I have way more information. Let's check out what I prepared on top of this. I mean, just very quickly, last time when we talk about the guidance, they announced in advance of the actual call that the target of 2023 gets decreased from, let's say in the mid here, 570 million euros to in the mid here 505 million euros, which we talk about today, or what we target today. So that hit a few days after this news was announced, actually a few days, not on the same day, hit it quite heavily, the stock, and put a lot of pressure on the price. But again here, 1 quarter later, the results have been very positive and optimistic, and they had actually a record quarter. Very surprisingly, again, because primarily driven by the substations. And you can see here just that you get a quick look on the news which took place. I mean, there's a lot of stuff next to it. I'm checking a lot of times their LinkedIn profile, and then they announce basically every day, almost every day, some new stuff which is going on, no matter if it's just some simple projects which they want to show for reference reasons, or if it's really some long-term agreements, like we see here, for instance, with EDRI in Germany, or they have here first battery, as you can see in project example, in attached to a wind farm in Sweden, and here another multi-year agreement with Cato. So yeah, for sure some stuff is going on here, partnership with Electra. So I think Electra is this a Spanish company? It's a Spanish grid provider. Not 100% sure. Here's something stated to Belgium. However, I don't want to go more into details. But yeah, for sure, just the message is for sure some stuff is going on with this company, and it's not keeping their hands still compared, especially, I mean, keep in mind, it's not the largest company, it's still a small cap. And yeah, so I would say, last thing I want to show you guys. Last thing I want to show you guys before it's getting seriously, is let's jump into my Excel sheet, which I prepared for you. And then really it's getting live, the results will get displayed. As you can see here, this shows I basically took out the numbers out of the past earnings results, put them together in an Excel sheet, EV charging solutions, substations, and energy storage systems. And you can see, when we take a look on 2021 on the right side of the table, on these columns, basically 250 million US dollars overall revenue, and 50-50 more or less, or let's say 40-50 EV chargers and substations. And then boom, this is what you saw on the map, on the PDF sheet of the webcast results of 2022. Let's see, take a look on the left table, 2022 results. Crazy. I mean, they had a year-over-year revenue growth of 76%. Of course, it's heavy for them to cover the desires of the investors, and no matter what they tell the market, we will not reach these targets, and please guys, don't expect we will go on with 70% growth. But of course, investors are expecting this kind of stuff, and that is very hard to cover. And I mean, therefore, in my perspective, Alfen is for sure priced quite fair, if not low. You can check out the latest Insights Time Period episode, and you can see there what is my personal fair price multiplicator for the stock compared to the other stocks I'm a shareholder of. And you will see it's not that expensive, and especially for business which has a great future. You never know. I mean, competition is coming out of Asia, out of other markets. But sometimes being a local player, being local present, having experience, having huge reference, this kind of stuff is all very impactful when we talk about winning large tenders, large projects, or even smaller ones. I mean, as well for, let's say, a local company in wherever in Finland, if to think about, do I want to purchase a battery storage system from China or from Netherlands? Maybe you prefer the Dutch solution, even if it's more expensive, because of just the proximity, that it's closer to your company location, and as well for service and maintenance, reaction times, for instance, in general, provide better references which you can visit in Finland, which are already existing. So I think the great thing is, I mean, yes, Alfen is a pioneer. Yes, they are first mover, and they had this advantage, and you can tell, okay, maybe that might be a disadvantage in the future. But on the other hand, it is something what they will not lose that quickly. They have a certain level of reputation, and it's highly a reputation-driven business as well. I mean, I'm not sure about EV chargers, but I'm quite sure that battery energy storage systems and substations are highly affected by good reputation, by good reference, and just the natural recommendation which taking place in the market. And this is sometimes very difficult for the second movers and the third movers to achieve, especially when you are from more far away foreign countries. Okay guys, so you can see the development was crazy with 76%, and now I will go a little bit to the left, and I prepared here another part of the, wait, I make it a little bit smaller, I think, so that looks better. Yes, perfect. And here you can see the revenue which was achieved so far this year. The gray ones is, yeah, actually there's some words are missing, but you can see 361 million euros have been achieved this year in the first 3 quarters. And then in the black text boxes I will add the current numbers later on, and the blue ones is actually what I expect. Yeah? So I expect personally, honestly, I expect 155 million euros in EV charging, 185 million substation, and 165 million euros in energy storage systems. And honestly, if one of these numbers could be a little bit higher, I guess it's the BESS, the BESS, so the energy storage systems. I could imagine as well it's 170 million, it's 75 million maybe euros for the full year, which gets stated. And when I think about a number which is maybe with a higher chance a little bit lower than expected from my side, then we talk about the EV charging stations. I expect it's 155 million euros, but maybe it's lower. Maybe they decrease heavier, whatever, or it's somehow staggering and jammed, and steering is the wrong word, jammed I think, so it's not moving too much anymore, and then it could be lower as well. Yeah, and I hope substations, the 185 million is on a solid level. Yeah, this is what I expect actually, guys. And now, last zip for today before we jump into the webcast at least. Before I do this, I will check quickly if someone is actually watching the stream. I mean, no problem if nobody is doing this, but I'm always more motivated if that's the case. And actually, yes, two users are on. Hello guys, I'm not sure if you wrote something in the past. As I mentioned, my chat is somehow not working, but I'm very happy to have you in. And now it's getting interesting, guys. Now it's getting interesting because you are right on time, and we're going live and right into the earnings results of this year. Therefore, I'm sharing again my browser. Again, one more time, 505 million euros is the target for full year 2023, and 13% adjusted EBITDA margin. Okay, one more zip. I lied to you, but it was not on purpose. Guys, let's go. I will update the news. And again, if it's negative, it's negative. I was surprised last year. And okay, 0.5 billion, that's actually more than 500 million. I mean, as soon as I can see here this photo of winter, whatever, it looks not so welcoming, and it looks like, oh shit, that's a word which I very likely should not use in the stream. Sorry guys, sorry YouTube, but oh damn, what is going on here? The world is going down. I don't want to see macroeconomical or microeconomical Alfen winter. I want to see a summer, and or at least a spring, let's say it like this. For sure not the winter, but who knows. So let's see. Okay. Okay, that's very, very much on what I have expected. I'm not an oracle, and as I mentioned, by accident with the calculations of each of the sectors, the result was 505 million, but crazy. It's very accurate. I'm quite proud of myself, and I'm very happy with the results actually. And 15%, yes, compared to 76% 2021 to 2022 is not that impressive, but it was expected. I mean, guys, keep in mind, please, it's somehow more or less profitable business, an established business, has a great positioning, but overall they had really hit it hard with the EV charging solutions, and yeah, of course it's not that easy, yeah. And they stated the year 2023 as well as a gap year, and as a gap year for 15% revenue growth is great. That's just my honest opinion, and I'm very happy to be a holder here, to be a stakeholder, and that looks for me quite promising. I can just tell you to this. And yeah, then it's roughly something like 140, 145 million or even 150 million quarter result. But we will go now a little bit deeper in this and checking out the webcast presentation. The annual report very likely is a little bit too comprehensive and something. Oh, today's 14 February. Okay, I was already confused because today is Valentine's Day. Oh man, if that would be the case, I had a big trouble because my girlfriend is today at home, and yeah. So, greetings to you, girlfriend. I don't want to state your name, but yeah. Luckily, I didn't forget that it's Valentine's Day. It's tomorrow. Yeah, webcast of course is prepared for tomorrow morning. I think 8 or 9 a.m. Central European time. The webcast will or the earnings call will take place. Okay, let's start right into it. I like the design of, at least based on my experience, of the slide deck. It's very simple designed and structured well. So here we can see again. Can you see my screen? Yeah, it looks good. Great. The highlights. Okay. 37, 32, 31. Just check quickly. Oh man, I'm so close. I'm so close with my expectations. Guys, I swear to you, I didn't check the results during the earnings call before I shared it with you. Swear that was not the case. I mean, it was very likely that I very close to the finish, to the final results. Okay, net profit. Yeah, it's worse than 2022. Again, keep in mind, EV chargers have a mid-level of margin. Battery energy storage systems have a quite low margin. You can see here that, oh, I'm totally wrong. No, I'm not totally wrong. I expected that substations somehow here the smart grid solutions somehow achieved an amazing result, but okay, it was like expected. Okay, great. But however, keep in mind that please keep in mind that EV chargers are decreasing in revenue and the margin is not that great, and of course then the overall result is not that great. Guys, I'm not the balance sheet guy, honestly. I mean, sorry for my professors out of the university. So I mean, I'm very happy to achieve the degree, but everyone has his strength and his weaknesses, and balance sheet business stuff is not the stuff what I'm so talented with. But I can imagine that here as well, for instance, the investment into the new factory is involved, and considering this, I think they invested roughly 10 million euros into this new factory, and it doesn't sound too much, but yeah, when you take a look at the profit side, of course, it is quite impactful, yeah, in ratio to the overall achieved profit. Okay, we have an outlook of 590 to 660 million euros. Continued energy transition momentum. Okay. Not sure about this. I mean, this is something like 20 till 30%. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Wait, I make a quick note. I will make a quick note before I forget this. So 590 till 660. Actually, this is quite well. It's quite good result. But on first glance, I thought, oh, that's not good. That's good, not good. But if I calculate correctly, it's something like 20 to 30% revenue growth year over year. Totally fine and in line with the expectations. And with this, then they will, when they stick to this, they will reach the 1 million euro target latest 2027. And what we got here? Yeah, okay, nothing too special. All right, guys. Okay, we got here the results, and I already will enter them into the sheet actually. So we got 163. that's energy storage systems. They already always change the order. Then you have smart grids of 188. Keep it very simple here. And then we have EV chargers, and that's okay. And before we go on further, I will share quickly my screen, and we will talk about the results and the numbers. And as you can see here, I've entered them in the results into the black columns. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor or not, but in the black letters. Yeah, and you can see it was quite close to the expectations. Yeah, when you compare the black letters, the black text to the blue text. I mean, the blue one was the guidance stated by Alfen. The blue one stuff was stated by myself, and actually, you can see that the growth development of battery energy storage systems is declining, heavier than expected actually. Yeah, it's still growing, but not on the level I expected. Honestly, I think they reached now 55 million in this quarter, and I think last quarter 52 million, so just 3 more quarter on quarter. But yeah, it's not that crazy. And yeah, okay. And then we have the EV chargers, and I think the EV chargers are still a little bit lower than expected. So what they had here, you can see it here, year on year, it's 115. Fuck, I need to calculate this together with you guys just to check out if 48, okay. Okay, it's already here, the distance. it's already automatically calculated actually. Okay, so we have it here. I don't need to calculate in my mind. So basically 38 million EV chargers. Last quarter they reached 35. Okay, so it's increasing again. Sales coming back. It's a great sign. That's good. That's for sure great. I like this very much. So that's I'm very happy about this. Then substations 52, and I guess it's way lower than. Oh, it's as well higher than last quarter. Last quarter was 50 million. This time is 52 million. Yeah, so again very fine. And I think the only aspect which, in my opinion, honestly disappointed slightly is the energy storage system growth. Yeah, even though if it's the overall result is more or less very close to the expected one, and it's better that substations and EV charging is celebrating a comeback because of the higher margin, but as well I actually want to see that this high growth of battery energy storage systems is not peaking and is somehow stable, or is not getting too down too quickly and dropping too quickly. And I think it's the case, even if it's not that heavy, but it's the case that battery energy storage systems are hitting a bottom in terms of growth quicker than at least I expected. However, the overall growth is great with 15% year over year for gap year. Nothing to complain about, and it's definitely a record year. I'm not sure if you can see this, but here is wait, let me maybe remove this, and here you can see, now you can see all the results of the past 3 years separated or structured in a different 3 primary product categories. And yes, it's still 100 million gap 2022 to 2023 in terms of EV charging solutions, but however it's already better than 2021. I mean, compare 2021 to 2023 in terms of battery energy storage systems, it's crazy, almost 10 times, 9 times basically the amount of revenue. and substations is really, I think, the reliable big sister, reliable big brother you really can count on, and it's just hitting further and further, growing, and that's great because again, highest margin business based on the past. However, if we give this a color, and I can already give this now a color, I give the revenue one a greenish one, or let's say a yellow one. I mean, guys, we need to be serious, and the result is great, but it's just in the middle of the expectations of the guidance. So for me, it's yellow one. But I would not be surprised if the price would increase tomorrow, because again, it's a gap year. The investors are not 100% trusting, I think, the results, and they're still counting with too low results. And I can imagine that this result here will, last time I expected at least 5% growth, I think, and it was something like 20% growth. So this time I expect again 5% growth, maybe it's 10% growth. This is something depending on the market. I mean, today overall the market developed not that great, but I expect 5% plus tomorrow up. Would not surprise me that strongly. The coverage is, in my perspective, definitely green, which is great. The rollout of the sales, I mean, substations is green. It's 88 million last year and 185, at least I expected, and for me it's above expectations. EV charging stations, actually I put it as well green just because it was higher than expected actually. It's recovering well. It had, what was it? 40 million, I think. Yeah, roughly 38 million quarter revenue. That's great. And then we have the BES, and actually here I give it just a yellow color. Yeah, when we talk about the traffic lights rating. So overall, till now, I would state it green, yellow. Green, yellow, that's the coloring I see here. Okay, guys, let's go on. Yeah, man, I'm not used to have earnings calls anymore. I like it, but I need to start earlier. There's no question about this. Sorry for everyone who's now waiting in the line and thinking, I need to go to sleep. Sorry for this. If you need to go to sleep, just leave, even if I'm very sorry about this. But tomorrow you can check out the rest of the video. Yeah, so it will get uploaded right after the call and will be live. And yeah, you will not miss anything of the information I will communicate in the upcoming minutes. So let's see what they are stating here. Is it shared? Okay, it looks good. 20, yeah, growth is crazy. I mean, growth is crazy. But I think quarter over quarter is decreasing again. It should be lower than 200% already. Has more projects. Phase average project size. Great. Has more. Yeah, that's great. Remain strong. That is what we like to read. I mean, it's just words. We don't know what is standing behind it, but I trust the management of Alfen. Otherwise, I would not decide to invest into the company and into the management. And I always invest in companies, not in some digital stocks or whatsoever, which I mean, I invest in digital companies, but just from the principle, I'm investing in companies and not just into some price charts or whatsoever. I like the stories behind, I like the development, the humans which are active, and therefore I'm very convinced by Alfen actually. It's by introducing. Okay, I mean, this the mobile solution strengthen its position. Who knows how this will run out, you know, later on. Yeah, if it's getting ramped up, % growth year over year is crazy. That's definitely a big surprise. That's great as well that the private network business is coming back, and yeah, getting back on the feet, and demand is increasing. That's great to hear. And then we have the EV chargers, and here as well, yeah, 39% decline, no surprise at all, guys. And partners use the inventory. Yeah, okay, that was nothing new as well. I mean, as well, actually, Alfen somehow handled operated a huge inventory, I think, in earnings call Q2 last year, Q2 2023, historically quite large. I think it was roughly 200 million euros or something like this. So I really hope they somewhat decrease this inventory. I mean, this is all money and capital which is not getting utilized and which costs money, and they will dump it later on, maybe for lower prices with discounts. And so I hope they decrease the inventory, but not sure if that's actually the case, because I think they didn't added any information to this in the last earnings call, in the last earnings results. Destocking intake is high. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's still growing compared to Q3, and that's actually okay. Yeah, as I mentioned, I mean 35 million Q3 and Q4 very likely. You can see it here. You can't see it here. 38 million. It is based on my calculation. Okay. All right. So 11.3%. Oh, actually, I thought I told you 13%, but I expected actually 11% because I calculated this quarter with 13%. Oh yeah, it's actually stated here, and because I calculated with 13%, and I in advance of this call to prepare myself and to know what I like or what I don't want to like to see during this earnings results. I added all the numbers together and divided them by 4, of course, for each quarter, and it was something like 11%. So actually I told you 13%, but 11% was the margin I was going for, and therefore it's a little bit higher, and I'm quite happy about this. Yeah, so everything above 10%. I mean, you can see here Q2, no question why the prices dropped heavily. 7.5% margin, even if it's a blend out of revenue growth this company is going for and profit growth, but 7.5% adjusted EBITDA margin is just, let's say it like this, not acceptable for an investor. Yeah, it's not that great. And you can see here, yeah, here's the answer why the overall total amount, even if the revenue is higher year on year, the percentage is just in general way lower. Again, very likely driven by the huge shift from the EV charging solutions to the battery energy storage systems solutions. All right, what we read here, let's check out what is stated here. I hope you can see it. Yes, looks good. This shows improving trend driven higher volumes for smart grid solutions and energy storage systems. Yeah, okay, there's nothing too new. Let's see here if there's some stuff we'd like to see. However, wait, quickly, let's go into the PowerPoint sheet and check out what I want to give here. And I mean, again, this one is for me green overall, green, yellow, but if we need to give a cover, we give it green. And actually, sorry, this was wrong. It was not correctly updated, but I expected 11%, but it's not crazy more, higher, whatever, somehow. So 11.3 and 11% is quite the same level. So I give it a yellow color, and all the other stuff very likely will not get answered. So I can, yeah, it's hard to say. Look, guys, I mean, it's not a big surprise. The quarterly results are positive, but not surprising on a very strong level, and the yearly one as well not. And so overall, I mean, this one I give it as well yellow. And overall, if we need to color it, and if you say, okay, it's green, it's very positive, yellow, it's on a neutral level, or red, it's more negative affected. In this case, I rate it on a yellow level. Yeah, not surprising too much. I'm very happy what I read so far. I'm very happy about the numbers and nothing bad about this. And again, it's a gap year and it's still growing, and it has a 76% year-over-year growth result from 2021 to 2022. And of course, it's difficult from 2022 to 2023 to surprise as well so heavily with the market conditions they are confronted, or they have been confronted with. Yeah, so achieving a yellow target is absolutely fine, and I think it's more priced, or honestly, to tell you the truth, on a red target. Yeah, on way more negative numbers, and therefore again I expect the numbers, the price tomorrow will go up and will grow. Okay, let's go back to so far about the short-term expectations. Maybe they will state something in terms of the ramp up of the factory as well of the revenue target. But let's go back to the numbers, maybe just very quickly. And I state I noted down the expectations just very quickly, as you can see here, 590 to 660. Let's take the mid, which is 35, so it's 625. That's the mid target for upcoming business, for this business year, for 2024 actually. So let's see how much it will be. 504 we got here, -1, giving it percentage. 24% expected growth. I can totally live with this. And now, one more time, quickly, how it is on the low end. So in the worst case scenario, 17%, so slightly better than this year. That would be definitely bad. So in this case, I would rate it red. There's no question about this. If we really just reach 70%, I would not be happy and satisfied as an investor with the results of Alfen. But let's check out what is going on. And 31%, guys, that's nice. And if they again, like this year, and of course they corrected the results, I mean, I think they would be already closer to this target. But really, if they hit this mid-level of 525 million euros, 625, so that's correct, you can be a very happy investor. So look to the viewers who are located outside of Europe, outside of Netherlands, outside of this kind of business, maybe from Latin America, from Asia, from the US, from Canada, from Arabia. Yeah, so very happy to have you in, of course. But please keep in mind, sometimes very interesting to look over the comfort zone and make research, and maybe Alfen is a nice bet for you as well. I mean, I can only state to you that Europe itself, at least the Western countries, I mean Eastern, maybe Eastern more. I honestly, I don't want to be just manipulated by the news or whatever. But Europe itself in general is quite sustainable driven, eco-friendly whatsoever, a lot of funding, a lot of subsidies. So the business itself is absolute state of the art, just on time, right? Alfen has a leading position here in terms of EV charging solutions, substations, and battery energy storage systems. And that's just a crazy good combination. They are prepared with the new factory for even further growth, and expectations showing that the growth is maybe coming. Alfen is stating the expectations, the guidance, the forecast is quite realistic, at least based on my experience as a shareholder. So 24% year-on-year growth looks for me very good, and I very highly welcome this. Let's go back to the earnings sheet and step to the finish line of this call, and maybe check out the last information, which could be crucial for us for today. Sustainable again. Okay. All of this is important, but not, unfortunately, not affecting too much today's call. Yeah. Favorable for all business lines. Dutch smart grids. Yeah, looks very solid overall. I mean, the number, not only the revenue wise, but as well only just based on the number of substations, the expectations looks very well. And yeah, with above the internal expectations of Alfen of 15 till 20% basically. Fast chargers 11%. As long as they grow, it would be great as well. Again, I mean, I'm not sure, that's very difficult to calculate if we can now use this 11% or something like this based on this 2022 result or based on the 2023 result, and I guess it will be something like in between. So hopefully next year we will come back to EV charger solutions of something like 175, 200 million euros. That would be amazing in my opinion. You can see here. That EV chargers. That's just fast chargers. Okay. Here we talk about EV chargers. And okay, I guess I get it, guys. I'm not I'm not working for Alfen, and I'm not a native in this industry, but I guess so. Fast chargers are not the chargers actually which gets provided by Alfen. They produce more this DC chargers, regular chargers, in which you use for your private household, for companies, where you charge your car from, let's say, 1 hour to 10, well, let's say to 4 hours, depending on the size of the battery. Yeah. So 1 to 4 hours, and not this fast charging stuff which you see on the highway, on the German Autobahn, for instance, where you make a stop, quickly eat something, and afterwards, after 30 minutes or 45 minutes, your car is charged up. Yeah, so that's not the case. And so yeah, and I guess for this fast charger solutions, substations are required to provide a certain level of power supply, and therefore substations have a regular demand, and of course a demand which is addressed and specifically resulting out of the higher demand of fast charger stations. Yeah, and as long as fast chargers getting more rolled out, even if Alfen is not providing fast charger solutions, but they're providing the substations which get attached and equipped to the fast chargers, yeah, or to the substations whatsoever. Okay, but here's the EV chargers, and that looks great, 18% year-over-year growth. So 18%, okay, then I'm quite comfortable actually that maybe we will come back to more like 200 million than 175 million in the next year. So I can tell you already now, guys, 180 million EV chargers is turnover. 180 is my target for the upcoming business year. Even without calculating this too heavily, but yeah, I don't hope I'm wrong. Let's say 185. Yeah, if next year you join the call, and hopefully next end of this year, beginning of next year, so exactly in 1 year, yeah, 13th of February, if the Q4 2024 earnings stream of a sense of capital of my person takes place, you can tell, and you watched already today's video, and you remember, Julian told 185 million. You can tell me if I was completely wrong or not, but that's my guess. 185 million EV charger turnover for 2024. That's the case. Okay, and we have energy storage, 58% CAGR. I mean, they stated in the last earnings results that they expect at least a growth of 40% year over year. You can see that the CAGR is even higher, almost 50% higher than expected by Alfen. So doesn't look too worse in my opinion, and especially here it's great that they have a lot of reference already existing. I mean, there are other big players, I know some Asian ones, but as well, of course, Tesla is present in Europe, no doubt about it, with their energy solutions. But I think there's not enough room for several players. That's not a monopolistic game or something like this. Okay, but looks good so far, so good. I mean, if they just hit the CAGR, of 21% of 18% and 58%, yeah. Let's check this out quickly together. I mean, that's the reason why we have an earnings call here, alright, guys? I mean, so we have here the results. 20% of no, it's EV. EV was 18%. So, oh man, it's already late here. So 1 point. Maybe it was a mistake to do this right now, but that's the EV charging just on the CAGR base. Then we have 20% on the substations, 21%, and we have 58% if I'm not mistaken. 58. Summe, it's total in, or sum in German basically. And then we hit actually more than the expected 660 million euros. So maybe, if not, some awkward stuff is going on, guys, yeah? And so honestly, Alfen is sandbagging. Even if they provide a certain range for the guidance, I think the range is still quite conservative. And as you can see here, just the CAGR, if I did not any strong mistake, just the CAGR shows you that the expected revenue for 2024 based on the market development, yeah, is higher than the expected one, which is stated by Alfen management. So let's see. So I think 30% is definitely realistic, and even more realistic, let's say it like this, than 20% year-on-year growth, and that's amazing. There again, maybe, who knows? I'm quite sure they will not achieve 76% revenue growth like 2021, 2022, but maybe there will be some kind of a small surprise, which is already somehow, hiding behind the trees of the ongoing business year. Yeah, the potential is definitely for sure existing. Yeah, no question about this. Okay, once more, going back to the presentation sheet. Yeah, a lot of sales here and there, and in Germany and everywhere. Looks good so far. A lot of stuff is going on actually in Italy and United Kingdom. Not sure why. I mean, as far as I know, the electrical grid of Italy is not the most stable one. In my business life, I had some customers in the Italian region. Was it Neapel? I think Neapel, in this area. And they told me for the solutions they wanted to purchase, and they needed for sure some battery systems to make sure if there are some problems with the electrical grid, they can cover it, and maybe out of this and the demand is resulting. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. What do we got here? Alfen remains leading among its EV charging peers. Woo, great. Yeah, so this was not always the case, as you can see here. I mean, if you are an investor and you see this, and I think they didn't present it, this chart actually in this period, but if you see this, you would think, oh man, it's dropping below the competitors. No, don't know who's the orange peer, but whoever. Maybe they are up front, even if Alfen is not stating this right now. Because you can see here, I mean, they're telling they remain in the lead, Alfen, but on the same time, of course, they don't have the Q4 results, and it's heavy. I think it's difficult for them to state that they definitely are in the lead. Looks a little bit awkward for me. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something, however. Okay, here's some very interesting stuff. CAGR is still quite high, but you can see here as well, have intentionally declined. Oh, okay, yeah, as you can see here, it was basically primarily driven by the EV charging solutions, and now the demand is dropping, and yeah, of course, then it is what it is, yeah. But I'm quite confident it will recover sooner or later, even if not very soon on this 250 million revenue level like 2022, whatever was going on in this year. Okay, but that's great that they keep the momentum and going on with it. Revenue growth was underpinned by many international commercial successes. Yeah, great. I think here these are the electric grid providers in the Dutch market. These three, one of them is the newest one, which very liked as well, putting sales to the pipeline and to the overall results. And then roll out projects, new locations for existing customers. Okay, renewables delivered mobile. It's great that, yeah, of course. I mean, they're always stating that they have good close business partnerships and business relationships to their customers, and the customers are very loyal. And if they order once an EV solution, a smart grid solution, and an energy storage solution, they will order it twice or triple the time or whatever, again and again. That's great that it's a primarily loyal driven business, again, because they are first mover, and they are local players, basically. Yeah? They know the regulations, they know the laws, they have partners in the markets, and sales representatives. Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? Select examples of innovations. Oh, I'm getting a little bit tired. Sorry, guys. I hope you are more awake than I. But I will finish this for sure on a good level. So that's the reason why I don't stop here. And guys, don't worry. I mean, the other calls will not take so much time. But for me, every video I recognized in the past weeks, I need to cut it. And believe me, guys, the cutting of the grab holding analyzer took so much time. I guess you can count something like, for each 10 minutes you watch later on, I need at least an hour to cut it, yeah, and somehow adjust it later on and this kind of stuff, and create a thumbnail, and so at least 12 hours I needed at least 12 hours for just cutting and adjusting the movie takes or the video takes of Grab. Yeah, so I like to stream because I'm live. I'm not always speaking perfect English language, I know this, and sometimes maybe my thoughts are a little bit weird and confusing you. I don't hope that's always the case. I hope I can add some value to you guys. Please let me know in the comment sections if the case, and if you are happy, subscribe. Of course, I like this so much. I mean, in the last days I get 1 subscriber each day new, and I was just simply really surprised, and I was amazed. It was very positive. I mean, I don't want to lie. I mean, for me the process is very positive itself, but it's always very motivating and keeps me driving, and to receive thumbs ups and subscriptions and this kind of stuff. Yeah. So thank you very much. This took place the past days, and yeah, I hope you can enjoy this video over here. So let's go on. Make grid operator substation, latest required isolation gap phase out. Okay. Yeah, 4th generation. Yeah, so basically what they mean with 4th generation is that it's way more efficient in terms of the loading process, but especially in the charging process, and especially in terms of the capacities of the battery. So way more power, and I guess they need it. I mean, I think they have now a deal with some Chinese companies, construction companies, which providing vehicles for the construction sites, electrical vehicles. And if you want to charge them more than once a day, you need for sure strong energy power. Even if it's a modular system and you can connect more boxes to each other, somehow you need to transport them to the construction site. And yeah, it's definitely always beneficial to have it very on a high efficient scale. To invest further growth, what we see here, okay, they expanded their employee count. Yeah, quite strongly, honestly. I mean, it's 20% up, roughly 20% up. Operation Excellence Program, you can see it hopefully still. Yeah, looks good. Often implement integrated solution forecasting and planning them into control. Yeah. Sounds not that bad. I hope it's working, and if it's working, I hope it has a positive impact on the forecast of 590 to 660 million euros. Yeah, as I mentioned, I expect maybe even larger results. Alfen is constructing a new headquarters in Almer. Yeah, Almer is I think it's a town, the city where they are headquartered. Our new headquarters production facility that is located next door. Yeah, you can see it here, 3 times of compared to the other largest one. Yeah, sounds great. Okay, actually now is the interesting part, but I will not take too much focus anymore because I think we already talked about a lot of numbers in detail. So yeah, you can see smart grid is growing on a strong level, no doubt about energy storage, and more important is, from my perspective, again, Q3 2023 was 35 million revenue, and this quarter roughly 38 million if I calculated correctly. So it's increasing, and the decline is stopped. That's the story for me. The message. Gross margin doesn't look too great. It is how it is. Personnel cost increased as well. Of course, if they hire 20% more staff members or new staff members, operating costs increased quite heavily. Not that good. However, okay, yeah, at least there is some net profit existing and they're not losing too much money. Yeah, that's the most important. Equity assets, yeah, it's growing, still growing. Yeah, guys, I don't want to tell you something about stuff. I'm not a professional one. I'm not sure if they're somehow stating here the current inventory was okay. Free cash flow doesn't look too good. Here we got the inventory. So now we can talk quickly about the inventory. So what we can see here, okay, it's decreasing. So it was not 190 million or something like this. Okay, we need. It was 190. Yeah, but it's decreasing. Okay, that's great to see. That's very great to see. Yeah, it's decreasing. So they're starting to sell more than they produce, basically, and. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, they're launching and ramping up a new factory. It's not good that the inventory is increasing and they can't sell the products they already have on stock. You know? So that's great that it's working in the right direction. And now the last sheet for today. Alfen expects. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Zero carbon, I think. Okay, I mean that's great proof. Okay, positive free cash flow. I think I don't want to hide this from you. I think they reached, yeah, you can see it here. Free cash flow was negative compared. Yeah, so the free cash flow level, yeah, negative free cash flow level, but next year they expect a positive one. Yeah, that's great. More than 11.3% margin. Guidance of 17 till, I think, what was it, 31% year-over-year growth. The results in during this call, have been overall quite positive. I call it, I state it as yellow, not greenish, yellowish as the color I would give. So as well, quite positive. Let me check one time if still someone is watching. I would not be surprised that nobody is present anymore. Let's see what is going on. Oh, still two active users, two active viewers are over here in the stream. Love it so much. Desci, hi Desci. I'm not sure if you're still present. Wait, can I write something? Not sure. I need to log in. I'm not logged in here at the moment. However, great that someone is still present here in the stream. Love it so much. If you have any question, again, I need to. No, another viewer actually. So, if you have any question, you can write it now in the chat if you like. I know that I somehow crushed the overall expected time frame of this call, but I think it was definitely worth it. We calculated already a little bit the upcoming guidance and the expectations just on the macroeconomic growth of the different product solutions. And yeah, guys, again, 5 to 10% is my, depending on the market development of tomorrow, but the expected expected price growth of the stock of Alfen. The results are in line, are yellow. The guidance looks very great. It seems really that's the case, that 2023 was a gap year and 2024 will somehow will be a comeback for a lot of solutions, especially for EV charging. Substations, I have no doubt at all, and because it's, I think, a very well predictable business, and the energy storage solutions will, I think, go on with the growth. I mean, market is 58%. Alfen stated something like 40% year over year at least. So I recommend, if you're not a shareholder at the moment, to make quickly research and analysis and figuring out if that could be a good catch for you, no matter where you are located. Guys, I'm so thankful that you joined the call and shared with me the time, even if I was a little bit late after all the preparation. Again, very likely next Thursday, 22nd of February, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. CET, Central European Time, I will go for Grab Holding, very interesting company out of Southeast Asia, and 1 hour later, at 11 p.m. Central European Time, so after market close of the US stock exchanges, I will go for New Bank, and really looking forward to have you in again. And in between this period, if you have any questions or any comments, any information you want to forward to me, and maybe I should be a little bit less loud when I talk, or louder even, or whatsoever. Julian, stop talking so much trash. Be a little bit more on time whatsoever. I'm very thankful for any advice I can receive. And yeah, just very happy for joining the call. Again, a quick disclaimer, no consultation, financial advice was going on. I can't give you any guarantee of the correctness of the provided data. And yeah, hopefully you will join again next week, when again I will state it's time for Crunch Time by A Sense of Capital. Your host of the day, as always, was Julian, and see you next time. Take care of yourself, stay healthy. That's the most important. Bye.